Test one. Hey guys, what's going on? Of course, let's see. Try on stream. Here we go. What is, let's see, hide this. I'm always having problems with my streaming issues. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Brand Marks the Spot, and it has been a hot minute, as the cool kids used to say. It's your brand buddy, Patrick Sesko, and this is my first episode of the year of 2021. And the year started off with quite a bang, frankly. So I hope you guys are doing well. You have probably noticed, unless you're on my email list, I've sent out a couple of emails this month. But if you're not on my list, you probably have not seen me the past 6 weeks or so because I've been quite sick. I came down with the COVID and was bed stricken for minimum of 3 weeks, and it's been a very slow recovery and a little bit of a scary time, frankly. Thankfully, that I didn't have any of the respiratory issues, so I did not have to spend time in the hospital. So that was good. It was just knock me down, and those kinds of things will test your manliness. So I do thank my wife and children for taking care of me during that time. And anyway, so that's where I've been, if you haven't noticed. And you know, you saw the episode title was what COVID taught me about branding and business. It taught me a lot of other things too, but I tell you, just not to harp on the sickness, but even now, I was diagnosed New Year's Eve. So I got in bed New Year's Eve, didn't get out until just a couple weeks ago. And I tell you, like, it really tests your strength in a lot of ways. It tests your mental strength. But even though I'm physically feeling pretty good, it's just there's definitely some. This is one of the side effects is brain fog, more so than usual. But it definitely affects the mental capacity, your brain fog. And it also, I've been getting like dizziness and just extreme exhaustion and all these weird little migraine things. And so just things I've been monitoring here and there. And so anyways, that's what I've been doing. And, one of the things that, it really kind of brought to attention, really taught me a lot, about branding. And, I'm not trying to make light of being sick and, trying to associate it with my business. But the reality is, I'm a solo business owner. I have contractors and things like that I work with, but I don't have any employees. And I've been doing this full time since, I don't know, 2005. And so what's that? 16 years total full time, probably about 20 years, including some of the moonlighting. But the one thing that it has taught me is that the relationships that I've cultivated over the past 15 years, because I have clients that I've had as freelance clients since 1994. So if you do the math on that, that's many years. That's like 25 years. And so I've built relationships with these people, and they're not just clients. They become friends. We send each other Christmas cards. In the time of pre-COVID, we were seeing each other, I wouldn't say like socially, but like, we would meet for dinner and, be cordial and those kinds of things. And those are the kinds of relationships that you build as a business owner, especially when you're working with clients one-on-one. And especially when at that time I wasn't offering services online. It was all local businesses, corporations, and marketing directors and those types of people. But it's those relationships that I've cultivated over those years that really enabled me to see the benefits. Obviously, I get the benefits of having these clients and having repeat customers and having those great relationships and doing great work. But the true benefit was, when I was sick and knocked down, I was unable to work. I could barely lift my phone up to, send texts and emails. And, I did send, some emails because I had some live projects with some clients, and I told them what the deal was. And not one of them, I think I had three active projects that I sent emails to my clients. And, I told them what the deal was. And not, every single one of them were just like, don't worry about the work. You take care of yourself. we'll postpone it, we'll do this, and if I didn't have those relationships there, I would have like let them down in some way. Um, in that I think they just love working with me so much and having these relationships that I've built over the year that they were willing to put off their work and to still have me do it for them. Now anything that was like super time sensitive or just emergency, when I say emergency with quotation marks, because nobody's going to die if your graphic design or branding isn't done. But in those types of cases I would have brought on a contractor or a friend or a trusted friend or a trusted service provider to help them out. But they were like, no, 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 it's cool, it's cool. So, and we're not talking just a few days, we're talking 6 weeks, right? So I think having those relationships that I've built over the years has really enabled me to sort of have that when I got sick. And it's something that I'm just super grateful for. And, I serve my audience, my customers and clients all these times. And, I thought it was just sort of quite nice that they were sort of able to serve me in a way, in that they really wanted to work with me, and continue to work with me. And obviously, like I said, there's that relationship, there's that underlying knowledge of each other that enabled me to continue to keep them as a client and not upset the status quo as far as my status with them and their status with me. So I totally appreciate that, and it's something that I knew, but like when you don't when you really experience it from being, I've been sick before for a few days, and that's not a big deal, but when you're that kind of sick and you have to take that kind of time off, and you're just a solo company, and then your clients understand and are willing to put their stuff off, it was just something that just kind of tugs at the heartstrings in some ways, and you're just getting the messages. In fact, I even had one client sent me a huge basket of like food and just accessories and things like that and snacks to get me through, because we're unable to cook and all that. So it was just it's that's the stuff I just like live for, right? It's like, yeah, we're all here to do work and do business, but at the end of the day, and this is one of the lessons that getting sick with COVID specifically taught me, was that like in the grand scheme of things, the work, while it's important, you know relationships and livelihoods and all those things are important, but it's like the work's not so important that you're gonna have to drag yourself out of bed, or those kinds of things to do the work to that doesn't really need to be done in that period of time. And I think I have clients that understand that. So if you find yourself on the opposite end of that, keep that in mind when you're working with people. Like you get so many times where I get clients in the past or prospects are like, yeah, I need a website. So I would do a proposal, and they'll sit on the proposal for like 3 weeks, and then they'll come back and say, all right, yeah, let's move forward. I need this by the end of the week. And, they want like an 8-week project done in 4 days. And it's just like, in the grand scheme of things, do you really need it in those 4 days, or do you want it? Right. So those are the kinds of things. That's one thing that, COVID taught me about branding. And then, and another thing is just like this, cultivating the relationship. That's just huge. Um, and see, here's my brain fog here, that I lose train of thought a lot quicker than I normally do. But now, thankfully, I have my notes here. But the second thing that I also learned, I'm a workaholic in some ways. I have a really strong work ethic. I always have, in almost every work that I've done. And it's like you're beating, when I got sick, I was just beating myself up for, it's like, oh, I got to get to work, I got to do this, and I feel like I was letting my clients down. And one of the things that I learned about being this sick was just like, you got to give yourself some grace, right? And I dreaded emailing my clients and saying, hey, I'm not going to be able to work on your stuff, we're going to have to postpone, or you're going to have to find someone else to do it. I dreaded that, right? Because I felt defeated. I felt like I was letting them down, and I was letting myself down. But in the grand scheme of things, again, it's like, while that stuff's important, it's not that important, right? So got to take things a little bit lighter. You got to give yourself some grace. If you're an online entrepreneur, if you're a business owner like myself, and many of my audience who are watching this are, it's like, we're always comparing ourselves to other people. We're always just like in this rat race of like trying to, get this to look like that, or I have to do this better than them. But it's just like, just remember, we're all running our own race. You got to give yourself some grace. If you fall short, or if you make a mistake, or in my case, if you get sick, give yourself some grace, right? Give yourself a pity party for a day, but then get back on the horse and go back at it, right? And I was upset at myself, but a lot of that was sort of beyond my control. But I took it and I kind of ran with it, and I took the lesson. So the two big things that I learned from being that sick is the relationships that you cultivate with your audience. And obviously I have these one-on-one relationships with my one-on-one clients, but you can still cultivate relationships with a broader audience through videos like this, direct messaging, contacting, and those types of things, and understanding your audience. But with your direct clients, is like, cultivate those relationships, because then those people will stay with you for the long haul, right? They're not in it just for the work. I'm a graphic designer. I'm a good graphic designer, I admit that. But there are 1,000 other designers and brand strategists out there that are probably 10 times better than me. So it's that personality, it's what you bring to the table that nobody else can bring, that's going to set you apart from everybody else. And again, that's part of that branding. And it's the relationships that you build, right? So it's the relationships, and then just sort of giving yourself the space and the grace to make the mistakes, to have to, fall by the wayside, to not be the hero, and hope that you're, if you have those relationships built, and something like that happens, you'll have that grace in order to sort of proceed with that. So that's kind of what I have for you guys today. It's sort of a sentimental episode, and kind of just things that you learn. It's when you're running a business solo, it's like, it's not, business isn't just business, right? Your life and your business can become kind of blurred. Sometimes I do work late or on weekends because I have like a project due or something like that, and that affects family. So all of these things are kind of intertwined, and it's important to sort of separate that and give yourself some family time and give yourself some grace to do those things. But it's like, it's a lifestyle. So, it's not just about the work. It's not just about the business strategies and tactics and all that. It's mindset stuff. It's how you put yourself out into the world, not just from a business perspective, but just from a human perspective, right? So it's one of the things that I'm learning more and more and more, that as I go on, and as my business grows further, it's like, it's kind of profound in a lot of ways, because it kind of takes the pressure off of having to be awesome all the time, right? And just kind of be yourself. And if mistakes happen, that's great. You just own up to them. That's one of my values. It's always learn and always try, but own your mistakes. And anyways, I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys. And my goal here is, one of the things about giving myself grace is, I was stressed that I wasn't doing these weekly shows, right? So, and I had a good streak going, because I wanted to do this consistent, because I'm always preaching consistency, weekly content. And so I was like, nope, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to kind of release that, let it go, and not stress about it, because in the end of the day, it's not that important. No one's going to be freaking out that my show hasn't come up this week, right? Although I did have a couple of people ask me what was going on, and I told them. But yeah, so my goal is to get these back on track again. And again, leave a comment if you have any questions, or if there's anything you want me to talk about. Either whether it's life as a solo business owner, whether it's the mindset stuff, whether it's branding or design or resources, anything you want to know, just drop a comment in. I will reply. It'll be me. And I do have a few things coming up this quarter, which I'm going to actually be releasing a lead magnet template creators, so that way you can create a lead magnet that doesn't suck. So if you're starting out, or if you just don't know anything about creating a lead magnet, this is a cool little product that I'm putting together that's going to be templated, that you can customize for your business. So that'll be releasing within the next couple of weeks, or probably a few weeks. I'm giving myself a little bit of time there. And then I'm going to be doing some one-on-one VIP days for branding. So if there's any interest in that, again, hit me up directly. And more episodes on here. One of the things I do have planned for probably this first or second quarter is to kind of revamp my website a little bit, expand it, because my Sesco.com website, which was my sort of agency site, and now I'm transitioning to a personal brand, which is PatrickSesco.com. The site is pretty sparse right now, but that's going to be changed in the near future. So that's kind of what I got in store coming up here in the near future. Again, leave comments if you have any questions. I'm rambling. You guys have a great Tuesday. Have a great rest of the week. And I will see you on the web. Talk soon, guys. Bye. Thanks again. Bye.